You are listening to episode 47 of the Underhook Show. My name is Steve, as always, alongside my co-host Chris. Chris, how you doing on this Wednesday evening?
My friend, excited. Really excited for this episode. I'm just ready to we have a lot to talk about. I'm just ready to get to it.
Me too, man. And I would say for our hiatus last week, we're making up for it this week. We have, like Chris said, we have a lot to talk about. It's going to be jam-packed, wall-to-wall, a lot of AEW, and if you could believe it, it's WrestleMania week. I understand for a lot of people, might not be feeling like that, but we still have some things to say on the goings around the big shows in the weekend between the Collective and some other promotions and etc. But I do think we should start with All Elite Wrestling, as this is a pay-per-view review show with a huge coinciding television that went off the air about 25 minutes ago, half hour. So fresh off of the big switch, but we'll stick a pin in that for now. I think we should start with AEW Dynasty, and I will ask what I always ask. Did you watch the pre-show?
I had background noise, but I did lock into Perry versus Davis. I did watch that match.
Me too. And I did not expect to have the pre-show on. It was one of those things where I didn't have any leftovers from the holiday because it was Orthodox Easter. So any Orthodox listeners out there, hope you had a good holiday. So Mill and I got some pizzas, and I'm thinking, I'm just going to have this on in the back. But I got sucked into that Jack Perry-Mark Davis match. I thought it was good. And I'm watching that match thinking, this is exactly how Jack Perry should be presented. He was bumping like crazy, but he still had the babyface fire to him, and he scraped away the gritty win. Mark Davis still looked like a killer despite the loss. I really enjoyed that match.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to say it was like a nothing pre-show, but like out of everything else on there, that's what caught my eye the most.
Yeah, it was
Camille came back.
weird. It was a weird structure. So I missed the Camille angle, and I'm wondering why.
I missed the angle when it first aired, but then, I seen it 17 times afterwards.
Yeah, they really were letting you know what happened. But it was really strange that they did run 3 women's matches on the pre-show. Maybe that was to make up for the fact that there was just the world title match on the main card. I think Marina Shafir needs to win sometime soon, whenever she wrestles next, because this is getting a little inconsistent between... It feels like they're still interested in her, but it's not showing up on the results. And, obviously wrestling is predetermined, but it's like, hey, if you're going to commit to somebody, they need to get wins here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I even forgot who she wrestled. I apologize, because I know I didn't...
Winza.
Winza. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah. They opened up the 0 hour.
Okay, yeah, I definitely did not see that then, because I was playing MLB, but I had it on the background. Yeah, I mean, Perry. I don't know. It's Perry and Davis, is there, and Shafir. Then it was
Camille squash match.
Did they edit randomly?
Yeah, impromptu. It was like this. This was like the second hour of a Collision episode for the most part.
Yeah, so it was very random. I mean, whatevs. Not a great.
Yeah, and then they did a women's tag team title match too with Deadlock alumni High On.
Oh yeah, High
On World.
Yeah, that's right.
Which they had a good showing in defeat for the tag belts. Bane and Cross, or what is it, Divine Dominion, successfully defended. Speaking of Collision, I didn't get to it today, but I also figured we have enough to talk about that it's supplementary. I will have one point about Collision though when we get to the Casino Gauntlet match, but yeah, and it wasn't an essential pre-show. If you go back for anything, I'd say Perry and Davis. Perry and Davis was good.
Yeah, definitely go back and check that one.
Yeah.
Anything on the pre-show.
Yeah. Well, if you're ready, we can get into the show proper.
Lock in.
This was AEW Dynasty 2026 from the Rogers Arena, the home of the Canucks in Vancouver, British Columbia. It's the West Coast in Canada, home of Kyle O'Reilly, which I think a lot of people were predicting that he would make an appearance of some sort. Once again, pinning that for now. Opening things up with a tag team match. No belts or anything on the line, but I believe the stip was if Okada and Takeshita can keep it together and get the win, then Don Callis would cash in the favor of giving Takeshita the title match. Bucks win in 20 minutes, 10 seconds due to Takeshita just saying, fuck this, I'm out. Chris, what do you got in this opener?
I don't think it needed to go 20 minutes. Well,
No.
I didn't mind it, though. I like the Okada callback to him putting the Bucks gear on. It's a little callback to BET. Or BTE, I mean. You know, that was a bad match. Just further and going along the lines of Okada and Takeshita feud, so that wasn't bad. Good opener, honestly.
So I actually did not catch the first two matches on the night. I passed out before the show went on the air, and I woke up before the third match. So this morning I went back and watched this, and I had fun with it. I would agree that this didn't have to go 20 minutes, but I'll tell you what, man. I know a lot of people were praising Nick Jackson's contributions to the match, which I know he did have his strong spells when he was isolated in the ring, but I could not get over how good Okada was in this match. I thought, like, for what we know now as like TV Okada, I thought he was great here. Between all of the bullshit antics and stuff like that, like you're talking about putting on the gear though, but then like I want to say this was also Nick, or no, it was Matt Jackson rather, going to the corner, and Okada's got the gear on and he's like reaching out for the tag and he just gives him the bird. But something I did appreciate as well was the Bucks and Okada were often calling each other's bluffs and were aware of when to counter what moves, which I think ties into the fact of how familiar they are with each other. They're talking about in commentary that, these guys go back 15, 16 years, like, when he was on Excursion in TNA. So a lot of the clever stuff when it was a lot of slingshot spots, a lot of cool cutoffs, I would say, in that regard. My criticisms with this were more so that, I mean, with a lot of Bucks matches, there is going to be some stuff that is a little played out. There was one spot in particular, though, where Takeshita was going to kind of do that power drive knee to both of them. And the camera just, like, cut in on the Bucks as they were both, like, getting ready for it. When it's like, hey, like, we know what this is, but you kind of got to shoot around that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a bad production spot right there.
Yeah, exactly. A couple of things were played out here and there, but overall, no, I did have fun with this. But like you said, maybe could have trimmed it down a little bit. But I feel like that's a caveat with damn near every match on AEW pay-per-views in 2026. You know what I mean?
If you're gonna
everything's gonna go long.
If you're gonna run a 5-hour pay-per-view, do it on a Saturday.
Yeah,
most people are off on Sunday.
Yeah, at the very least, we'll get the holiday weekend with Double or Nothing.
I mean, I work all the time.
Fair enough. They should give Memorial Day off to everybody. But yeah, so Takeshita Okada, this is the collision course now. What's interesting about this match, though, is that this was not the plan.
What was the
Originally, Okada was going to have a singles match. Not sure with who. But this was going to be Fletcher and Takeshita against the Young Bucks.
Oh yeah, because they did tease it. Not tease it, but they did bring up Proto Keshta. They did a promo before he got hurt. Yeah.
Blessing and a curse, though, I would say, because I feel like this is a much more natural way to get to Okada Takeshita.
Faster, too.
And it's like, come on, like, let's do this. Like, it's been long enough. This doesn't have to wait. This doesn't have to wait until Wembley. It still might, but I don't think it has to wait until Wembley. Like, you've been teasing this match for a year and a half now. Let's go.
You gotta do something. Like, I know injuries not derailed, but
yeah, change plans.
Change a lot of this.
Yeah. But I think to their benefit, if not now, when? Like, let's go.
Yeah. Now's the perfect time.
Yeah. Moving on to Chris Jericho's comeback match, even though now he's just Jericho now. I don't know. But we didn't get to really talk about Jericho's return angle. The running joke was that Ricochet's punishment for the whole PR nightmare was that he's Jericho's first feud. But he beats Jericho with the lion salt in basically 20 minutes, and I think we could just echo what we said last time. This had no business going this long. However,
I didn't mind it.
It could have been way worse. Exactly. I didn't mind this either. It was fine.
I want to be an advocate and say that this is probably like one of Jericho's best matches in recent memory.
In a long time.
And
Yes.
he looks like he actually took it serious, got in shape, you know.
And he was flying around out there, to his credit. Yeah.
So, I mean, and I'm happy Ricochet won. Let me get that. Sorry, spoiler alert, Ricochet won.
He did. Yeah, he did. He won with the Lion Salt.
Ricochet Salt.
Rico Salt, yeah. Now that it's been called that. But this whole feud is very strange to me because I feel like we're just kind of waiting for Jericho to turn heel. Ricochet winning the first match doesn't surprise me. Jericho has been guilty in the past of losing the pay-per-view match and then winning on TV when more people are watching. So I'm a little skeptical of that because Ricochet has no business losing this feud.
Who helps him? All right, sorry, never mind. Put a pin in that.
Is he still affiliated with Brian Keith and Big Bill?
I think so.
Okay, well, good, because, I mean, Brian Keith and Big Bill they don't need to be. They've been stuck in that vortex for long enough, but it'd be interesting to see. Yeah, I mean, it was weird seeing Jericho come back and kind of having this drawn-out 50-50 offense match. It just, especially with where he's at in his career, but like I said, I feel like this could have gone way worse. So I don't really have anything else to complain about. Now they're not going to be in Canada for a while, so it remains to be seen how the crowds will be receptive to it. You know what I mean?
Seen it tonight.
Yeah, it was. Dude, you could hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
Regardless, for the in context of the pay-per-view, whether you want to say you dodged the bullet or whether you want to say this is just fine, it could have been way worse. So I'll take that as a small victory.
C-.
Yeah, passing.
It passed.
Well,
my match of the night.
Yeah, match of the year candidate for me underneath Tanahashi and Okada, bro. Holy fuck! Darby Allin defeats Andrade El Idolo in 1646. This felt like it breezed by, but I feel like every time Andrade is announced for a big singles match, you and I kind of collectively lose our minds. And it feels like whenever Darby's booked in a singles match, loses his ass. And this felt like the perfect merge of styles between the two. It's rare when you see a match on paper like this, and you're like, oh my god. Like, it's rare that it's this good. But in my opinion, it was. Like, this had everything in it, man. If you look at the mat work in the beginning, I thought that was a pleasant surprise. And then when they do get into the freak show bumping, it's absolutely insane. Like, this was Darby at his most, like, Looney Tunes. You know what I mean? But when you put the caveat on there that whoever wins this gets the world title shot, the stakes are high, that, like, of course he has to go for it. And it was this perfect blend of, like, you had all the cool shit, you had all the dangerous shit, you had some stuff that was just flat out hilarious, like how they framed the selfie spot, or Darby just no clips, spawns out of midair and falls on
and balls into him,
it was tremendous.
The Samoa Joe shout out on the stairs, you know,
the Joe dropkick spot, which left this, I don't know what the word, abrasion
on his back, yeah,
and that made my skin crawl. And it kind of goes back to something I've talked about on here before and something I've talked about on youtube.com/matches worth watching. There's a relativity of pain when it comes to pro wrestling because you and I don't know what it's like to be pile driven on the steps. You know what I mean? Maybe you do. I don't know. But you do know what it's like to eat shit and fall on concrete. Most people, I would say the average person, knows what that feels like. So when you see Darby just go for it with the drop kick on those steps, and it immediately gives you that feedback of just this disgusting welt on his back. And then you realize we're a third into this match.
And then he continued to just take back bumps onto said back. Like,
oh my gosh.
The suplex into the corner.
Suplex onto the fucking floor.
Yeah, that too. Ugh.
The thing with that spot too is that we see that teased a lot. But when you see Darby go up for it, you kind of pause and you go, wait a minute. He might actually go through with this. And then he does.
Yeah.
This match fucking ruled, dude. And then I just love how they took the flashiness and the fireworks of the Andrade match, how well that paired with the stunt shows of the Darby match. And then you get stuff like Andrade doing that like hold up in the ropes, like the Tranquilo pose in the ropes. Darby goes, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna jump into you head first.
Yeah, Darby
We're
said,
both going to the floor.
I don't care.
Or like, I don't even know what the move's called, but he did like that. He's in the fireman's carry into the moonsault, and then Darby's able to counter into a chokehold.
Yeah, I don't know what the movie is about. I know exactly what you're talking about.
That was mind blowing. Like, this match was tremendous. I loved every second of it, and the fact that Darby eked out with the win too. This was everything it needed to be. I absolutely love this match.
Oh yeah, 5 out of 5, A+.
Yep, well done.
Yeah, but why Andrade is sponsored for Blue Chew or something? Because yeah, just saying,
Maybe he knew how match the good was. He was bricked up.
certified hog dipper. You know what I'm saying? Said, dog, put your pants back on. Come on, man.
Yeah, Andrade might have been a little bricked up, but who's to say?
I said, geez, Louise.
Yeah,
Put the kids to bed.
we knew that was going to be hard to follow. And the question was like, okay, Darby has this title shot. Would this be the Double or Nothing program later tonight? They said, nah, we're doing this on TV. Which raised a couple of questions. You know,
I kind of figured it was Mania week. You was trying to compete, you know?
yeah, just having a world title match
Yeah.
made sense. And the thing, too, is that we still never got Omega Darby if they did do the switch. And obviously MJF and Darby have way established history. So whatever was coming out of the main event, you know, it would feel like a big deal come Wednesday. But I'm not losing sight of how awesome this was to get to that point, man. Like, it was a similar thing where we talked about heading into the Bandito match, where it was like Andrade's on this run of his life. You know, Bandito's coming off the year he had. This seemed like the perfect time just to run this match because, like, to me, these are two front runners for Wrestler of the Year as early as it is. And
absolutely.
It was just the perfect storm. These two just come in on these incredible runs and just create a magic. It's just one of those things where I'm just like, damn, I love this sport, man.
Love it.
Now, I know what you're thinking.
Yeah. And then
I'm going to play devil's advocate, though. I did not think FTR Cage and Cope, it was better than I thought it was going to be.
it would have been better if it was like 5 to 10 minutes shorter.
Yeah, but it's the Edge on pay-per-view, so it's like, we know it's going to be long. I believe he was busted open hard way, but I would say that definitely helped.
Yeah, I'm just glad that what we thought was going to happen didn't happen yet.
No, not yet. Spoilers for tomorrow. I think Copeland said that Christian is injured right now, so I don't know if that's legit or not. I got a friend at the show tonight, so they're taping Collision as we speak.
Shout out, we got boots on the ground.
We got scoop. We got scoop.
Scoop Ferguson over here.
Yeah, we don't do a lot of spoilers in these parts, but I mean it's taped Collision. But I just thought, how the hell are you taping Collision after that TV? But it's early there. Yeah, so I don't really know, because FTR did defend, by the way, in 21 minutes flat, according to Cage Match. I don't know where they go from here, but in the context of the match, I mean, like I said, I thought this was way better than the All Out match. The blood certainly helps, but I think that FTR were like, yeah, we're not going to do the tribute spot match. Like, we're going to structure this out. So as much as the Revolution opener felt like a Young Bucks match, I thought this felt so much like an FTR match. And we did get some cool detail stuff. Like, there was one moment in particular where FTR is in firm control of the match, and they're trying to pull Copeland away from the ropes to get a hot tag. And he just grabbed onto the ropes with both hands. And I'm just like, you know what? I don't know why people don't do that more often.
Right? It's a pretty smart move there.
Yeah, so just, it was nice to get those little rewards out of a match like this, just because I just didn't know what to expect, because the All Out match was what it was. But yeah, I think if they're going to leave it here for now, I'm cool with it, but it remains to be seen. You got anything on this one?
I got nothing. I mean, I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
Just the timing. As long as Stokes on my TV, I'm cool with it.
He was awesome tonight. I will, before we get into the actual gauntlet match discussion, one thing that sucks about, like, I was ready to fire this point off when I saw Saturday's match announced, where it was the Dogs against Jet Speed and Mystico. And I, like, wrote in my notes, Dogs win the trios belts, you put the TNT title on Kevin Knight.
Yeah, absolutely. When I saw the spoiler on what happened at Collision with the Dogs winning, and then I saw the gauntlet, I said, oh, okay, it's either Speedball or Kevin Knight's winning this title.
And that was, I thought, the absolute right choice. I think these Casino Gauntlet matches are kind of like a cheat code, considering who's on AEW's roster. I'm surprised that they don't do them more often, but I would give them credit because I feel like, you know, not to totally pin it on Tony Khan, but I feel like when they get excited over something, like they do not hesitate to keep running it. If you think about the party matches last year, or now they're kind of doing these monthly diet versions of Anarchy in the Arena. When they thought of this in, I want to say it was early 24, they were running them like once a month, and then in 2025 they go, no, we're saving this for All In. This felt like the right thing to do, though, with the vacated title. And if this is your quote-unquote mid-card, I would say you're in a pretty decent spot.
Absolutely. Ciampa, Pac, Roosh, Bandito, Speedball, Clone.
Mm-hmm. You get some Death Riders in there, too.
Yuta, Anthony Bowens.
Yeah, it feels like he's a little directionless right now. Regardless, I mean, I didn't think he, you know, I didn't complain about him being in the match. Pac went full paywall.
You did. You gotta give the people what they want.
He had, bro had the legs out, bro the titties out.
You pay the money, you see the show. All right.
There's some really cool matchups in here, though. Would have liked to see Claudio in this, given all, you know, just having, you know, having that powerhouse element amidst all the high flyers. But we'd get what we got tonight, so no complaints.
Let's be honest, though. You put Claudio in here, you put a giant amongst, well, I mean, Roosh and Ciampa, but you know what I'm saying? Like, no offense to these guys, but Claudio towering over 90% of them.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, you know, despite the fact that he did end up winning, even before that, dude, I thought Kevin Knight absolutely just shined in this match.
Absolutely.
I thought he was tremendous.
I thought Clone was great.
Clone, yeah, like he is really coming along into his own right now as a TV wrestler. And I mean, best 20.
Absolutely. Deadlift.
Out of the pinfall? To break up a pinfall.
It was out of the Project Ciampa, right?
Yeah. Project Ciampa pinfall. And then, yeah. So it's, you know, AEW can go overboard with the fireworks shows every now and then, but this is a good version of it, I thought. Like when you have just this amount of talent in there, and then you could do different things with this lineup, because then when you do have Death Riders in there, you could play the numbers game. When you do have luchadors in there, you could have that flavor in there, and then when you do have the likes of like Jet Speed, you know what I mean, doing their own brands of high flying stuff. And I would say Pac's kind of more in line with like Kevin Knight, to where they possess athleticism, but they're, you know, obviously a bit more filled out. So yeah, I had a lot of fun with this. I couldn't keep up with everything happening because there was a ton going on. But as far as Kevin Knight kind of being the root of the match, building that around the likes of these different styles, and then obviously the big moments, like, I mean, the one that comes to mind is obviously Bandito hitting the 21 plex to break up a pinfall out of a Project Ciampa. I mean, dude.
When he did that one time, the deadlift one, the first time, and then this one, I said, oh, but hey, shout out Kevin Knight, though.
Deserved it. Well deserved. Full steam ahead. Shoot him to the moon, man. Like, the Jet's leaving the atmosphere with the push, man. I can't believe how well he's come along. Like, we always knew he was good, but like, I'm talking world title scene next year. Like, Fletcher push. I see it, at least. Yeah, he's really awesome, and he had another great showing that we'll talk about a little bit later. Moving on to the women's title match, only women's match on the card, as we discussed. Tekla steals the win from Jamie Hayter in 16:31. But I'll tell you what, I had a blast with this. I thought this was great.
See this. I was taking care of my kid at the time.
These two
I did
just
go back. Actually, I did go back today. Finish. I started with the Andrade Darby match and just rewatched everything. But yeah, I mean, it wasn't a bad match. I just don't really remember anything like to write home about, I should say.
I just appreciated that these two just set out there and go, all right, we're gonna beat the shit out of each other for 15 minutes. And I really liked it.
Since we didn't get to talk last week, what was that promo?
I feel like it was supposed to sound threatening. But I feel like if you're threatening somebody with a seafood dinner and taking them to the club,
It came off dry.
I mean, maybe she had the seafood dinner and went to the strip club before Dynamite.
Yeah, man, it was. I said, ooh.
Maybe her and Lance Archer shut down Magic City together. Maybe they got a
her, Clark Connors,
yeah,
Archer,
Lance Archer, Hechicero.
El Clon's probably in there.
Well, you know, El Clone gets down in the club.
You know, Hechicero in the back just doing his little dance thing, bro.
Yeah, the waving his hands and shit. No, bro, he pulls up to the club with the Firestones.
Oh, he does. That's why I don't see him on TV anymore. It's because he goes to Magic City with him all the time.
But yeah, I'm sitting here thinking, like, obviously she said I'd take you to the club and break your fingers, but I'm like, I don't know. Depending on who you ask, they might not take that as a threat. But
I know.
Yeah, I didn't think she was fucked up. I just think her promo style is like really over the top supervillain. Because tonight's was in a similar vein.
Yeah, she'd be like, hey, I will say, it's funny every time I see her with a microphone now, though. Because she'd be saying some off the wall shit.
Yeah, she's a little crazy, but it's fun. Yeah, I think though that this pairing made good on they just improved on their Wrestle Dream match. And to me though, this was like right out of a Jamie Hayter title reign. I mean, just these two were laying in like crazy, and I think if Tekla stays in this lane, we need to start building up Aminata and revisit that.
Shout out to the queen, she back.
Yep, thank God, dude. Like we were talking about it like, oh man, like Aminata's not here, and then it's like next week Aminata Willow Nightingale. I'm like, all right, bet.
Shut up, queen, you're back.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I do wonder though, just because I enjoyed the body of the match so much of just the pure slugfest, that she keeps stealing wins. So I want to know how they pay that off. I don't know if you're going to stip it up with either a cage or maybe a ladder match or something to where the rope breaks, or even like a no DQ, like the rope breaks. I mean, I guess the rope break wasn't enforced because he did it behind the ref's back, but a way to get that out of the equation, because she's been stealing wins left and right, and I feel like she's going to have to pay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, so now we'll put a pin in it. We'll talk about that for Dynamite.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was just pleasantly surprised by this, given how lackluster the build was.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, like, because the booking of the women's division right now is
atrocious.
Yeah, it's bad. It's not good. I think Hayter is a very safe choice for a situation like this, and they just made good on that. Yeah, just a really hard-hitting 15 minutes, and I say that I think for the booking kind of being up against them, they did a good job.
So it wasn't bad, just nothing really that I could
right home about. So I think the match that you and I both had circled on the show was Jon Moxley versus Will Ospreay. And a lot of questions going into what it would look like. Moxley winning in 1813 doesn't necessarily surprise me, and I think it was the right call given how they started the match. But these are kind of, Ospreay's your favorite wrestler, Moxley's somebody we champion, so I'm going to give you the 4. How do you feel about this one?
I like the match. It's not Darby Andrade, but I like the match. Start off hot. Like we said, the right call was made. Mox still winning because there's bigger fish to fry at the end of the day with Ospreay, Not saying that, not taking anything away from the Continental title on Moxley, but it's a hard-hitting match. It's exactly what I expected. Didn't feel like it was 18 minutes to me. With the course of I
agree.
Like all the other matches that were going pretty long, especially the main event, going super long. This one did a breeze for 18 minutes. Took 14,000 Death Riders. So I mean.
Yeah, and I think that's where I checked out a little bit. I know that I was tired of talking about this match before we talked about it just because everybody was bitching about the pop-up spot. That didn't bother me. I really was just taken out because I think the pile driver and the steps, I think that just should have been the finish. Full stop.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's your neck, right? Like,
And not only that, if Moxie's like, well, fuck it, I'm just gonna DDT him 10 times. I'm like, okay, hey, like, cool, like that works for me. And then he kicks out, and it's just like, okay, one more. I just wouldn't have done the one more. I just think they overreached a little bit. I just thought they overreached a little bit. They kind of did the same thing to catch the match, and I'm like, me, I'm preaching the Moxley gospel here. So, I mean, I bought merch that day. Like, I'm not.
yeah.
So I'm like, hey, reel it in just a little bit. I understand with Ospreay, reeling it in might be a bit of a foreign concept in some circumstances. I just think that they did too much in the finishing stretch. But overall, though, the core of the match I really enjoyed, especially with what they were trying to do with this whole program, where Mox is like, you're taking this way too personally. Ospreay's out for revenge. He could have just won the match in like 8 seconds, and he didn't. He wanted revenge. He didn't want to win the match, or he wanted to win the match, but getting one over Moxley was way more important. So when he does blindside him with the hidden blade and doesn't even attempt a pinfall, I'm like, oh yeah, like this is what we're doing. That all worked for me. Neck targeting worked for me. Obviously, like these drawn out limb work matches, again, I think Ospreay's going to take some time to adapt to that, but the overall action itself, like, yeah, these two were kicking ass, and I just would have wished they reeled it in a bit at the end there.
Yeah, those false finishes always annoy me a lot, especially if you do them in abundance.
Yeah.
And the main event was get there.
Yeah. We got before we get to that though.
We have a happy moment.
Yeah, Kyle O'Reilly's back.
Or a happy and sad moment, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not sure who in the conglomeration's tight with Bo, but the Bo tribute was nice. It was a nice touch. I don't know if you caught that.
Yeah, I didn't catch it at first, but then I caught it online or something.
Yeah. I figured it would have been Kyle. I mean, I don't know what Mark Briscoe's whereabouts are right now, and I'm starting to get a little worried. I hope he's not hurt or anything. Because I
think he's fine. I'm hoping he's just taking a nice long break.
I hope so too, because we never paid off the Ciampa thing.
Yeah.
And it feels like he could have easily slotted into all these conglomeration tags, and he hasn't been around. Kyle O'Reilly, though, back after 5-month absence, I want to say, give or take. So it's good to be back, or good for him to be back, I should say. And he's a champion now. Conglomeration defeating the Dogs in 10 minutes. Being reported that this was always the plan, however, I wouldn't be surprised if they called an audible because, yeah, Gabe Kidd got hurt, and this only went 10 minutes.
And then he did a promo off of Bean. I don't know if you saw that, but
I did not.
Oh, I'll send it to you. He cut a very painkiller induced.
So he was off the yerk.
He was off something. My man was.
Hey, when he comes back, he's just come out the perk he's calling by Future.
My man was fuck the doctors, fuck AEW, fuck after Jesus. I was, and you could. Oh, it was great. It was awesome.
Gabe Kidd off the yerk's crazy, but
Gabe Kidd's awesome. I love this guy. This is me. Like if I was a professional wrestler, Gabe Kidd would be me with the grill.
Well, for his sake, I hope he recovers well and gets back to this.
According to that video, I think he's doing just fine.
Yeah, I'll tell you what though, you could do one of two things here. Keep riding it with just have Dave and Clark Connors as a team, or the Rebel singles push,
or bring back Jay White. I don't know why you had to do anything. I just want Jay White back.
I mean, I feel like they never really ran the Jay White Finley blow off.
I just want to see Jay White back.
This is off of memory. They did the Jay White Hikuleo match. If you remember that guy. That was his last match in Japan, and then it was like...
I heard he's taller now.
Yes, taller Tonga.
the tallest Tonga.
Does he wrestle?
Hey, later on we might do our guess the WrestleMania card event, and we'll find out because I don't know.
Maybe he's on the Mania card. Maybe he's
Maybe he's
not.
on the
We'll
Andre
find out.
Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I haven't seen him wrestle. I just know he's been on like vignette or not vignette, but like backstage stuff with. They're teasing Tama Tonga leaving the Bloodline.
Okay. So Jay White's last match in Japan was against Hikuleo, if you could believe that. And then they did Loser Leaves New Japan, Eddie Kingston, Jay White. Eddie Kingston beats him, and then David Finlay runs him down.
I remember that.
They've never really interacted since. So I think there is a natural feud there. I would really like that. So I would hope that they would address that. If they were saying now it wasn't just the hand with Jay, it was the shoulder as well. I think he was just banged up. So he didn't mess with us this time. He didn't tweet or anything. So
I thought he was going to come out since he didn't do it. But I mean, why would he come? But then also for me, where would he came out here? You know what I'm saying? Like what part?
Yeah. Because he's with Bang Bang Gang. So
it's not like they're gonna, unless you're just trying to retcon that somehow, but you're not gonna do that.
Yeah. But anyways, whoever's hurt on the roster, get well soon. You just throw that out there. There's a lot of people missing right now. So it does bring us, before we get to the main event, I will talk about this team though. I really think you could just throw out Kyle Orange and Roddy against any trio and it'll be a safe play. So I'm not too mad about this title switch. I loved Orange's reaction to winning. He was like, "Wait, really?" And I've been enjoying this run from both of these factions. Clark Connor's making that spear a regular spot. It looks disgusting. It looks disgusting every time. So
I forgot to tell the story really quick about when I was at Squared Circle Expo. I was standing in line for I started my excursion to try to meet Great Muta, and I realized I wasn't standing in that line. But the line was right next to Orange Cassidy's table. One of the volunteers there was going to go tell him he's doing a panel. Well, I don't know if they didn't let these people know that they were doing panels ahead of time. Because when he told Orange Cassidy, he just said, he laughed and said, "Really? What's the panel about?" And I just thought that was the funniest. He wasn't in character, I don't think. I think he generally didn't know.
he probably sounded like anytime he's on screen.
That's what I said, but it just kind of reminded me of him winning the belt. Really? I did? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
That's what kind of reminded me here because it was I was he was like, "Really? What's the panel about?" And then he was looking at the list. He's like, "He's here?" And I don't know who he pointed to because that was just funny as shit.
That is funny. Main event time. Maxwell Jacob Friedman in full 2010 Warped Tour get up defeats Kenny Omega in 38 minutes and 56 seconds.
It didn't need to go 40 minutes.
Hell no. Yeah, I was not into this. I don't know if it's just their chemistry or if Kenny's, I just don't know if putting Kenny in a 40-minute match at this stage is a good idea. Don't know if any MJF match going 40 minutes is a good idea. And I think this showed. People want to talk about the Ospreay pop-up spot being the center of discourse. I thought the reverse Rana no-sell in this match was worse.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because, it looked like they were doing it in slow motion. And then Kenny just rolls through it. And I don't know. A lot of this just didn't land with me. It felt like MJF was trying to have a Kenny Omega match from 10 years at times 2.5 speed. And I don't necessarily think that's what you should be doing right now.
No, not at all. And you also shouldn't be. This pay-per-view was already running long. You didn't need to have this go this long and MJF try to run a match that isn't his style of match.
Right. Yeah. I was kind of hoping for something a bit more like the Kenny Takeshita match from last year where they grounded it around the diverticulitis, but then it still had its moments. Where I feel like this was only going for moments. Yeah, this is another MJF main event that just isn't doing it for me.
Yeah, this did it good for me. Like I said, I texted you. I was like, "Yeah, man, made it to the women's match, but I crashed, so I had to go back and watch this today." Which I already knew the outcome, so like it made it easier, I guess. But it was still like a long watch, just that match alone. Everything else, like the women's match, breezed. Mox, that all breezed. But then when I got to the title match, I'm like, I'm getting dragged out again. Like,
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I feel like it's a little lazy to blame it on MJF, even though I genuinely just haven't enjoyed what MJF has contributed to these main events. Because if you do look at the TV defenses, was I was liking a lot more of what he was doing in like the Bandito and the Brody King matches, right? But I have cage match pulled up here. Samoa Joe's probably very stern, and he's telling him, "Hey, I'm not doing that." When like, yo, 40 minutes, like, no, I'm not doing that. So when I'm looking at these title matches, it's like, 38 minutes against Kenny, 46 minutes against Hangman. Then you take Joe out of the equation. Hangman went 38 minutes with Fletcher. He went 31 minutes with MJF. You know what I mean? The Texas Death Match went 35 minutes, but I feel like that's a situation where it's your biggest match of the year, fine. And that match was incredible. I don't think you should be chasing like 40 minutes every pay-per-view. I don't care who you are. And like you said, this shit's going on at like 10:30. It's a lot.
it was crazy. I looked at the time. It was like 10:30, 10:45, maybe even 11, and this match was still on. And I said, no, I rolled over. I said, I can't do it. I'm way too tired for all that noise.
Yeah, I mean, I can imagine, obviously I snoozed as the show was going on the air. If I fell asleep in the middle of the card, God knows if I would have made it through this. I did make it through the whole match, though. I was just hoping for a little bit more. Yeah, I was really disappointed by the main event, but which is a shame because, like I said heading into this, there wasn't anything on this, like, or maybe I said it off the air. There wasn't like that big pitfall. You know what I mean? I felt like even though this is obviously a very long show, I kind of was rocking with everything, or at least in the cases of like the Jericho match or the Edge match, it didn't feel like this slog. It's just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then you get to this, and it's like, whoa, like, man. And that sucks because I mean, who's to say Kenny doesn't get back here again? But if this is one of the last ones, it sucks to be kind of left with that taste in your mouth.
Yeah, it was bad. Not bad, but it just it sucked for me because like I ordered this pay per view and I was so excited to watch it. I fell asleep during it. I was so mad, Like,
Yeah.
damn, I wanted to stay up, but no fault of their own. I think I'm just old, but I feel like we should do time management here, TK.
Yeah, I mean, because heading in, like, up until this point, I thought that they're running a bit of a tighter ship in that regard. I just, man, ever since they switched to HBO Max, which is something we've asked for a long time, them not having to hard out, I mean, 4.5 hours, I feel like we talk about this every time they do it, but it's like when the main event though is dragging out that long, it really does take the wind out of your sails a little bit. But unfortunately, that's how Dynasty went off the air. But fear not, because they had a very quick turnaround and a lot of good stuff on Dynamite, in my opinion.
Yeah, Dynamite kicked ass.
You want to get right into it?
That's rock and roll, brother.
Cold open with MJF being unaware of the match, which was announced 3 nights ago, but apparently there was another promo where he said he's going dark, which I don't believe for 1 second. MJF is a terminally online person, but I mean, hamming it up like this to where we thought he might have to wrestle in his suit, I thought it worked for me. Like, when MJF is in this space of being vulnerable, showing ass when it's called for, he does a really good job of it.
Yeah, and when at first if he had to wrestle in the suit, I was like, damn, you're gonna lose this early.
Yeah.
But I liked it though.
Yeah, they did do the bait and switch. Darby comes out there and he could barely get through his promo, which I think that was kind of the tell of that he's winning this damn thing. But a very impassioned promo about, how much he's physically given for the company where, I mean, yeah, he's taking Looney Tunes bumps on TV every week. So, and obviously climb Mount Everest, but they get the match to the main event, which I thought was the right call. I don't think you should open with this. I think the opening with the angle is fine, but I mean, like, had they just ran the match, I mean, like, You can't do a switch like that and follow it with anything. I kind of liked how they established how big of a deal the match was and said, well, you have to wait until the end of the show. Like, that's TV wrestling, man. That's the hook.
Yeah,
so
that's what gets you.
Yep. So I thought that was well done. Then they cut to some, I guess you can consider it pre-taped. It was taped, but it was a Ospreay Omega interaction in the medical room following Dynasty, where, you know, they're both down and out after losing their big matches. Kenny is kind of pitching the whole I won't have this chance ever again. Wrestling shows a lot when it doesn't tell, especially in AEW. Do you think this is our Owen final?
So, walk with me here. So, do we get this Owen final, or do you get it Wembley, or do you do both?
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? Because I feel like...
Because I can tell you, when we get to the main, I'll tell you what I think the thought process is.
Yeah.
But...
I'm with you to a certain degree, because I feel like...
You mean you were in the same spot?
I'm not sure. I think there's all kind of ways that they could go with this, and that's why I'm excited. Because before Dynamite aired, I just assumed it's MJF Ospreay at Wembley, and that could still be the case. But the fact that we're not just waiting for it, because it felt like since MJF won the belt, we were just waiting for Ospreay to come back and win the Owen. And at the same time, I thought, well, we're just going to have 4 months of MJF with this belt. We're going to have 4 months of Hangman and Swerve. And neither of those guys have been on TV for a while. So they are at least making things a little more exciting. The way Kenny was talking about Ospreay, though, I'm feeling like the torch is going to be passed. But like you said, is that just the match for the belt at Wembley? Or is it the tournament final? That's what I don't know yet.
I'll put a pin into my opinions.
Yeah, I'm curious to hear it, because quite frankly,
there's 2 ways that I think maybe is my opinion.
You could do all kind of things now, but I think we should just crack this discussion wide open when we talk about the main event.
Yes.
We opened the action of tonight with something straight out of 2020 NXT. Jesus. Tommaso Ciampa versus Desmond Xavier.
And in some way, shape, or form, 2017 PWG. Or 2018 PWG.
Yeah, were the Rascals around?
Yeah, I want to say
okay.
Because when I used to go to AEW, they were just coming up. Like, Desmond, Trey were just... And Myron were all just coming up.
Yeah, because I know Ciampa was doing, like, Ring of Honor and PWG, like, when he had, like, the mohawk. Yeah.
Yeah, that sweet MF Doom looking mask.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I like this match, though. This match.
Yeah, Ciampa, if they're still, they're still putting him in focus. Rascals also are getting a lot of time. Myron Reed challenged Okada on Saturday. I still have yet to get to that. And then Reed and I can't think of the other guy's name. Wentz, yes, Zachary Wentz. They're wrestling the Bucks tomorrow night. So I think this is just AEW being like, hey, like, we're still showcasing the guys we signed. And yeah, I didn't think this was a bad match by any means. Some of the knees in the back half, like Ciampa was killing the guy, dude.
The first kick.
My goodness.
The first 2 seconds into the match.
That too.
Kicks Desmond dead in the face. I said, oh, this is what this is going to be. Huh?
Yeah. And again, though, with how they're presenting Ciampa and with his post-match promo, I feel like that maybe they're going to use him as a stopgap in the world title picture until Mark Briscoe comes back.
Yeah. I would assume Mark Briscoe comes back to cost him the
yeah, he could always do that too. After he does some anti-air and then Project Ciampa, he kind of gets his hits in after the match and then takes a mic and just says, whoever wins tonight, I'm coming for you. And I see Ciampa as a TV defense. I don't think he's going to be walking into Double or Nothing in a world title match.
It'll be a good TV match.
Coming into 2026, I didn't have Tommaso Ciampa challenging for the AEW Championship on my bingo card.
And got me, Darby going, spoiler, a bump his ass off.
Well, yeah, I'm a lot more excited for it now. I don't know what an MJF Tommaso Ciampa match looks like, but Interesting to say the least, and I think, like I said, that gives you something to do right away.
A good plan 1A, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, this whole episode felt very measured when we've had some real loose ones in the last couple weeks. So
yeah, this one seems more streamlined.
just maybe TK is locked in, knowing with Mania week, just everybody at their best.
He heard about that Sandman Invisible Man match, and he said, "Hey man,
We gotta compete with that."
Put Archer on TV. Sign him."
Hey man, Okada posted him on Instagram. I don't know if you saw that. The picture you sent me over the weekend.
Hell yeah.
Okada, I just posted a bunch of press shots, but it was like cropped particularly with him and Archer, and I'm like, boss call has to be made, dude. Give my man his money.
You know what's up?
Give my man his money. Hey, they go way back to Chaos.
Give him his money. Let's go.
Wait, was Archer in Chaos?
He was in
Suzuki Goon. Yeah. Okay.
I knew that one. I knew that one. Look at me.
Killer Elite Squad.
Speaking of Suzuki, we get to our picks for our Mania weekends.
Yeah, the story of that match is ridiculous.
Did you see what Action dropped?
It keeps getting more insane from what was originally booked.
The Action thing?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. You saw the 6-man they announced, right?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'll explain how we got there. But yeah, regardless, even if Archer, I made the mistake, he wasn't in Chaos. I mean, he was in New Japan for a long time, especially like while Okada was, Rainmaker shock to when he left. So they go way back. So get the man his money. When the alarm bells kind of were going off in my head of the result of the main event, I mean, they really were busting out the video packages going all the way back to Darby and MJF's 2021 feud. They're obviously, Darby mentioned in the promo, but they were showing the footage of every time MJF beat him with the side headlock takeover. And this is story writes itself type of thing. So they're planting the seeds in the first hour.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yep. FTR promo, nobody ran out or anything, so I am wondering the legitimacy of Christian's injury, but Stoke was phenomenal here, I thought, and I thought the 10-second pose was a nice bit.
Yeah, that's the 10-second pose heavy. And when he started doing the pose, I lost my mind.
Yeah, they're trying to keep Stokes the best, but Forbidden Door was announced today for I believe June 28th in San Jose. And Stokely was invoking how, we ran through this whole division. You're going to start bringing in people from CMLL and New Japan. So that might be planting seeds for...
They should bring in?
Yuto Ice and Oscar.
You already know. The Knockout Brothers. Let's go. KOB, baby.
I don't know if they do champion versus champion.
I don't care. Just put it on my TV.
I think that Yuto Ice would probably do really well in front of an AEW crowd.
Who else would you know? I mean, you would know more than I would, man. So I don't even know.
You could do a lot. I know they're champions in their own right, but like Los Hermanos Chavez are one of they're upper mid card in CMLL holding their tag belts. And then you could obviously do any combination of El Sky team between Mystico, Neon, and Mascara Dorada. And I mean, Dorada and Mystico, they're on dual contracts, so I think that makes sense. People are familiar with them. New Japan, they're keeping Zack in the tag division too. So I think you could do Zack and Ryohei Oiwa against FTR. I think that would rule. Ideally something like that. Maybe even Los Guerreros. I feel like Ultimo Guerrero has not gotten enough in AEW because of the Okada match that went really wrong a couple years ago. But I'd love to see Los Guerreros in AEW as well. For those who are panicking about the fact that there's no New Japan, CMLL, or Stardom wrestlers on the poster, I believe that they have to just figure out who is booked on that, because it is a weekend, and Stardom and CMLL are almost always running weekends. So, CMLL runs the same buildings Friday and Saturday every single week, so they just have to see who they're working with, I think. But honestly, too, you could run Shooter and Yuya against FTR.
Okay.
They've been running them in tags as well. So, yeah, I think you got a couple of teams to pull from, but I hope FTR are still champs by then, because you could basically give them whoever, and then obviously they're going to make it work. Strong promo here, playing seeds for Forbidden Door. I thought this was fine. I was just shocked that nobody cut them off or anything. They just talked their shit and left. Which, hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, that was it, and then get out of here.
Yeah. If we're talking on pure mechanics, probably the best wrestled match of the night, even if match of the night's kind of an obvious one. But Kevin Knight's first defense of the TNT Championship against Claudio Castagnoli, you'd be hard pressed to find anybody better for a first defense, man. I love this match.
Yeah, fuck it is hard.
That perfect blend of, like, I mean, Claudio's flying around out there to his credit, but like two freak athletes in very different ways. We always, Claudio's that kind of, it's tiring at this point to talk about how well of a base he is, but when you do have Kevin Knight, what he brings in the air, perfect opponent for it. Obviously, Claudio Lane in 2. I love the lariat bump, like before the first break, where Kevin Knight did like the perfect inside out sort of thing.
He did like the Billy Gunn.
Yep.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it was really good. But as far as you pick anybody in the roster, you could pair with Kevin Knight to just maximize his output, make him look like $1 million, which, I mean, he can already do that well enough on his own. But yeah, Claudio nailed the assignment. This was a really awesome TV match. And like Kevin Knight as a television champion, this is exactly what I wanted. Like this match. Just do this every week.
This is only his first one, so.
Yeah. The one thing that took me for a spin, I appreciated how much they did struggle in the corner when Claudio was trying to do an avalanche neutralizer. Like they were really like jostling for position. Like it made sure whoever gets out of this, whoever lands the move, it is going to be earned. But I could not tell you what the fuck kind of arm drag they got out of that dude. They went like full zero gravity mode.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they did there, but
I don't know what that was, but it looked cool. And when that happens, I'm like, yep, fair play.
Kudos.
Yeah, really cool match. I don't know about you, but I really, really, really like this match. I think, again, I'm full on the Kevin Knight hype train. He's earned every single word of it.
I feel like there's a turn coming soon.
Where at?
It's either him or it's gonna be him or Bailey.
Yeah, I mean,
only because like
when was the last time Speedball was a heel?
Probably never. But
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. But like I don't know. I could see Kevin Knight be a heel though. You know what I'm saying? Not that they're gonna do that. But like I don't know.
Well, in recent memory, when he did work Arena Mexico, he leaned into playing Rudo.
Wasn't he with like Claudio?
Yeah, he was like his second. So I think he has the presence to pull it off. I mean, obviously he's got a ton of swag, which helps. I think he could do it out of the two if that is the direction. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I think you got a good thing going right now.
That's what I said. It's always just general wrestling trope that I think that's going to happen. Just because he mentioned his name, like beating himself up in the back. So I was kind of like, maybe they're playing, maybe they're trying, maybe they're just...
Most wrestlers walking out with a gold puffer jacket, that might register heel. But if you can make it work as both, I just think you got something good going. So
I mean, look at Archer.
Yeah, exactly. If he did turn heel, though, I mean, Swerve never really followed up with the new embassy. I think him and Nana could do something.
Hurt Syndicate's looking for new members, but I feel like Private Party would be a better fit for that.
Because I just don't want him in... I don't want Kevin Knight in the Don Callis family.
No, I don't see that happening.
Because, I mean,
I honestly don't even see them turning them heel. It's just like... Because they got a really good thing going. The fans love them.
I think Kushida turned heel in MLW. If you want us to do a Intergalactic Jet Setters reunion, they're both heels.
Kushida is a heel? No, I'm good. I like him as a face, man. You can't have it. He's smiling all the time. He's happy.
I'm trying to... What other factions are going on? I think I don't know if he'd fit in Death Riders. I don't think Death Riders need anybody else right now either. I think the additions they made last year were perfect.
Best spot would be the Embassy with Swerve.
Yeah, I think so too.
They already had the, they planted the seeds a while ago.
Yeah, I think that would be it. I think that would be the best fit. But if we're just getting TV matches for now, I mean, he's doing a hell of a job with it, man.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't get wrapped up in the person who's in the next segment.
Yeah. Yep. In-house promo with Chris Jericho leading to Ricochet coming out.
Why does go so long?
Yeah, this went really long. I was like, damn,
I'm gonna paraphrase
Toa
it.
Toa with the straightened hair was kind of crazy.
Like show enough
Impressive feat. This is my takeaway from the whole segment. Ricochet hit the lion salt, Rico salt with the fitted on.
in the Michael Jackson loafers. Also,
No piece of clothing moved.
nothing. That's icy.
Respect.
Hey, you want to paraphrase this interview? Bald. So I gotta say.
It feels like Jericho is just like taking shit from the internet. Like he never left Twitter a year ago and is like shoehorning that into his promos. Yeah, this was a thing that happened. And the feud didn't really progress, so we're probably just gonna get another match that Jericho's gonna win.
Oh, absolutely on TV.
Yep. It's all going to plan. You're asking who's gonna help him? Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I don't wanna banish your boys to the vortex, but I saw the Outrunners are at TV and they're not doing much.
No, got it.
That seems like a Jericho pick, though, man.
Absolutely,
like they got themselves over, and it's like, oh, hey guys.
And they came. They did come out at the end.
I saw a phenomenal tweet about them tonight. Forgive me, I can't think of it. Someone shared it in Violent People. Someone said the Outrunners are here for the celebration, as they were with Ricky Steamboat at Chi-Town Rumble in '88. I thought that was great. But yeah, they're at TV, but I feel like they haven't been on TV in a while. Unless they're on the collisions that I skimmed through, and I just haven't. But we can move on from that. I don't think there's much to really dwell on here until they book something. So, Don Callis interview, which I forgot to talk about this during the pay-per-view rundown. He was pissing me off during that match with the insider baseball stuff. Like, he kept saying, he called like Okada like a fiery babyface on like in commentary, and then he was calling people marks, and then he said something else like that was another. And it's just like, yo, like we get that that's like all shit that people say who are fans. Like it's not, the hidden gospel anymore like it was 40 years ago. But it's like I think that there's still unwritten rules that should be followed, and you don't say that shit on TV, especially on commentary, like where it's supposed to be presented as like they're calling this like a contest. It just, that like really rubbed me the wrong way. So I forgot. I made a note of that, and I never mentioned it, but so I just wanted to put that out there. But yeah, they're not Takeshita and Okada not on good terms. Fine by me. Book the match.
Yes.
I believe we're at top of the hour or into the second hour, but I think this was top of the hour. I did not see this match get booked, so I was pleasantly surprised to see it when it was in the ring. Ospreay doing what Moxley normally does, which is, first TV back, and he's right out there. Ospreay now with about 30% more kinesio tape now going down his arm.
Yeah, I got the Yeti in a minute.
Yep. The Yeti.
Yeti.
Will Ospreay versus Hechicero. Crazy match on paper because they're so opposite. But holy shit, Hechicero. This might have been his best AEW match since the Danielson match. I thought Ospreay was good in this too. I actually thought this was a good match, but Hechicero, man, holy fuck did he come to work, man. Like, it wasn't a carry job or anything by any means, but as far as like keeping things within, hammering home the ideas of the match and how Ospreay would react to them and play off of them, I think they had something really good here, especially in the second half of this match. I have not seen anybody wear down Ospreay like this in quite a long time, if that makes sense.
It's toe usually, more or less.
Yeah, like even the Moxley match, like that was full on 50-50 bomb fest until Moxley saved up all of his SmackDown finishers.
Yeah, I got all of his stamina, his three finishers locked. We're good.
And I love the kind of there's like a crossroads in this match because Hechicero's so good on the mat. He was dividing his attention between the neck and the arm. So it was almost like he kind of got his wires crossed at one moment. So when they did the big setup of the Styles Clash, it's because he let go of the neck and went to the arm. I thought that was brilliant.
Want to know what my move of the match was? I guarantee you know what it is.
What was that?
When Ospreay was going for the hidden blade, and Hechicero said, "No, we ain't doing that." And he did like this crucifix driver.
Wait, dude, that looked gross.
I said, "Wow, Jesus!" Like, yeah.
Underrated aspect of Ospreay's game, because I think people tend to think of his offense. He's so good at bumping.
Oh yeah, he's a great seller for sure.
His bumping on that was fantastic. And I really thought, too, because it's not something you see Hechicero do all the time, especially with how AEW shot it compared to maybe how it's shot in other promotions. That, like, flying elbow to the back, it just looked like he had, like, 500 pounds coming down.
Like, you push him away. I was like, what's he going to do? Jesus.
That's dude, it looked gross.
It's like a sack of potatoes just driving down on you.
Yeah, I thought, like, because this match went a little bit long. I think it got 3 segments. I feel like once they kind of got into their groove in the second half of this match, this was awesome. And I think it could have just been, what's taking this away from the complete picture. Maybe just they took a while to kind of get back to those main ideas of the match, or I don't believe these two have ever wrestled, at least one-on-one. So I legitimately think they had a feeling out process.
Yeah, run it back.
Yeah, this was really cool. Probably my favorite Ospreay match since he came back. I think I like this more than the Mox and the Pac match. And the Blake Christian match.
This one's tough, because I really like that Blake Christian match. Like, his first match back, it was good, but...
Yeah, told a simple story, all that.
But, I mean, Hechicero is the dog, and he has great theme music, so...
Yeah, I was watching, I kind of skipped the whole of have we been watching anything else, so we can do that now. But I'm through the first week of February, and I watched the February 6th Arena Mexico, the last 2 matches, which Captain Suicida versus Yutani ruled. We're going to talk about Captain Suicida and we're talking about WrestleMania weekend. But Hechicero's in a, classic Australian Rules Trios match that they don't do anymore. But I miss his old music, but I do like the new music. I really miss his old music. I just want to point that out.
I really like that. I was like, ooh, it's nice, it's funky.
Did you, in the last weeks, we haven't spoken in a while, have you been catching up with anything else?
WCW 1990 still kind of just locking in.
Oh yeah.
And now I found out OSW is doing their arc on WCW 1990, so it's just gonna be awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah, it works out for me.
Did they drop anything yet?
They just did their trailer for the new arc. I don't know when it's coming out yet. They're doing WCW Goes Hollywood, where it's like all the 1990s, like RoboCop and all this other stuff.
I was gonna say if that dropped, that's people have fallen asleep to tonight.
Yeah, they dropped the trailer, so it's coming out soon.
I really enjoyed the last arc Cena stuff.
Yeah,
like the first title, because
that's perfect. Yeah, that was like right around the time you locked in, ain't it?
That was when I locked in.
Yeah,
so like
it's perfect for you.
Yeah, so like that took me right down memory lane, and like I started watching the SmackDown after No Way Out, but like we got the Royal Rumble DVD right after that, so like I seen that show. I never actually seen No Way Out 05, so it's cool to hear him talk about it. But Barbed Wire Steel Cage is kind of crazy, but yeah, that's I can't believe after all these years they're still going. So good for them.
Also, that Barbed Wire Steel Cage match, I remember I bought that DVD because around that time is like I stopped getting the pay-per-views because like around that time they started like zapping those magical little boxes we used to have, and the internet was still kind of like not as predominant as it is now. I don't think. Yeah,
you couldn't just pull up a stream of 2005 pay-per-views.
So like, I used to get I remember getting all like the DVDs for like Christmas that year. I would always get like 4 for that year, and like I remember getting that one. And as a big ECW guy, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be awesome. That match pissed me off, but never mind, I digress.
I'm sure the Cena Angle match is cool.
But don't worry, when we get big enough and we start doing these Patreon watch-alongs, No Way Out 2005, it's gonna be on that list now.
Put it on the list. Put it on the docket, man.
Because trust me.
Back to Dynamite. Yeah, I think this is the absolute perfect time to do Mark Davis Will Ospreay.
Oh, absolutely. I love that move. That close your eyes and count to 3. I love it. Well,
Mhm.
we know what it's called. But
Yeah, they can't. TV, man. TV, bro.
yeah, but I love that movie so much. I wish they put it in a video game.
I'm looking forward to that match. I think, again, capitalizing on Mark Davis's, I mean, I wouldn't call it a push, but his focus in AEW this year. And they had a pretty good match in the New Japan Cup a couple years back.
And we're not talking about the elephant in the room. Our guy's cast is off, okay? It's not on his hand anymore. Just say it. And he's got a match coming up in May at Warrior Wrestling. Sign him.
Yeah. If there was an AEW show closer, I would bring a signed Lance Archer sign. Oh man, his contract might be up for G1, but sign Lance Archer, dude. Dude, he did not flinch during that entrance.
He didn't flinch at all. He just stood there.
Posted.
And did Don Callis say Super Nintendo?
Yeah, he did. He said Wii and Super Nintendo.
No, so Super Nintendo Chalmers.
Super Nintendo Chalmers. It's the Northern Lights in my kitchen.
This time of year, in your kitchen.
Oh man, I was losing it at the toy shop when I went last because they're always like just playing something on the TVs.
Yeah.
It was the one where door opens and it's just like, hey, no eating in the tank. Go to hell.
I love classic Simpsons.
Oh yeah, few things better. You know what's crazy? I have not like sat down and like watched it in a long time, but Mill and I quote it every single day.
So, not to get too far off a tangent, I've started since we got Disney Plus. I've started from season 1 like twice, and I always stop at like season like 17, I think, or something like that. And I never go after that. But I used to watch it every Sunday, but I was just like, I don't know, man. I love it.
A lot of people say like the falling off point was like when they find out Skinner's not really Skinner, because then I think after that a bunch of writers left. When he's like fucking Armin Tazarian, whatever the hell.
Yeah, Armin Tazarian.
Yeah, so my ballpark is like seasons 2 to 9, 10-ish, around that.
Yeah.
That's kind of the sweet spot for me, but there's some good stuff in season 1 as well. But yeah, hell yeah, classic Simpsons. I'm glad you're on that wave too, because like I said, there's not a day in my life I don't go without quoting just some random one-liner.
Oh yeah, no, I absolutely every day. He shouldn't, but my oldest loves looking at The Simpsons at least.
I mean, I was that age too, when like they'd be playing reruns on Fox at my grandparents' house.
Yeah. Well, that's what I said too. I was like, "Hey, we grew up on this. It's okay. I ain't worried about it. Go ahead, man."
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like you'll be young and you'll think like Bart's funny,
In
but then you get older.
in moderation, you know what I'm saying? I'm not.
Yeah, but then the beauty of it is you get older and then you find out like this is one of the best written shows ever.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
This and The Critic, man. Come on.
We love Simpsons in these parts, but
check out our Simpsons podcast after the show.
Yeah.
Side note: there is actually a Simpsons podcast I listen to. Like when I used to work at my warehouse job, and now it turned.
I would imagine
it turned into.
It seems like the natural progression of things. To be fair, but I think now we get to the Tekla promo, the crazy Tekla promo.
Yeah. She did that. What? When she said that she didn't get fired from Japan, and then she said, "Oh wait, yeah, I did." It popped me. That had me laughing.
Yeah, that was funny as hell. That's one of those ones where I don't hold it against her. Just roll with it. That was hilarious. Yeah. But
I like Tekla. I love Tekla though. Like she's coming into her own for me, to be honest.
Yeah, she's another one of those where like, I didn't really know how she would land in TV wrestling. Like, I always kind of thought she would just go to WWE, but I think she's really taken well to the spot in AEW, and like,
I want to play armchair booker, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
How crazy or how badass would it have been not to do the Sisters of Sin thing with Sky and Julia? She should have just came in and joined the fucking Death Riders. I think she's a perfect fit for that.
I think it could have worked. I think we were talking about somebody joining them a couple weeks ago, and we kind of settled on the fact that it feels like Marina is so unique and does so much for that group that it would feel strange.
Yeah, so maybe they're just gonna keep her as like a one woman. Well, I guess if you, I'm glad that you didn't bring Ronda back.
They have not mentioned that since. I have no idea what's going on.
That's not.
Mm-hmm.
I think. Well, okay. Once again, tangent again, but it's okay. We're having fun. Uh, with that Ronda thing, I think it was like, okay, let's feel it out. Let's see how And I don't really necessarily know if that's a good business move. And you know what I'm saying? Maybe they just went off of how it played out. Like it got bad press, or if it got bad, if it came off as negative. To me, it came off as I didn't really give a crap either way. You know, whatever. Neither here nor there. I'll just not pay attention when she's on. That's just me. I'm not gonna talk crap about it, but
I mean, hey,
I feel like it did before because she was on Ring of Honor and it got bad or got bad reviews there or negative reviews there, and they didn't bring her back until just right now. So I mean, let's not try it again, I guess.
I just don't know what the whole idea was, because it's like if she has a legitimate fight to train for, like I feel like you have to put all your eggs into that basket compared to her training in a wrestling ring again. I mean, I can't speak from experience, but I would imagine those are two very different things. So
maybe just because,
maybe after her fight, or
or
maybe
maybe,
she
maybe
must
just
live out
because.
there.
That's what I said. Maybe it's sorry. Maybe it's just because they were in LA.
She must live out there, because I feel like when she did the Ring of Honor one off, it was West Coast as well.
I think she does live out there because back in the PWG days, you'd always see her and Baszler in the crowd.
Yeah, that must be what was going on, because like I feel like, maybe they're at least flirting with the idea and they don't want to commit to it until after her fight, but it also is like, why would you bring her in? I still maybe the whole thing was going to be her versus Tony Storm, and then it just obviously Tony's absence for whatever reason put the kibosh on that,
Yeah, I feel like
because
Tony.
Marina hasn't even mentioned it
Yeah, I
on
feel
screen.
like. I just feel like Tony not being here definitely probably did that. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Tony not being here like threw everything in shambles, because given how everything else has been booked. Windsor is the next defense. Yeah, I don't mind that. I think they need baby faces right now.
Just give us what we want. Bring it
Yeah,
back.
yeah. So I also need to ask, like, what are we doing with Athena at this point?
I totally forgot about her. Oh, it's
She had a
bad.
really good run on TV last year.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, remember when she said she was going to be on TV more or on AEW more? But
And then after the tag tournament, which she only had the one match, like they were out in the first round, it's like she's been persona non grata. But I'm like, dude, she's still tremendous.
yeah,
I was doing like my work for Violent People for her, because she made the list, like that circle, big fans of her. And it's like there's a certain freedom she has with the Ring of Honor stuff, because she can kind of like try new things and like different finishes and all that. But it was like, but she's been trying new things and having these different types of matches for 3 years now. So it just feels like I don't mind her, running the show there, but it's like she's so good that I'm like, at what point is it too much? Because I feel like we're nearing that. Like, just put her on TV. She's tremendous.
yeah.
But for now, we're getting Tekla Alex Windsor. I'm sure that'll be fine.
Where do you go with this though? You know what I'm saying? Like, I
I
mean,
think they're just rolling with it. I legitimately just think they're going to roll with this until they figure something out for the pay-per-view.
it's man, I was trying to think. I was like, I don't know what you're doing now. Like, all signs point to Mercedes whenever she comes back, but
Yeah, which I feel like it has to be soon.
yeah, she dropped all her belts finally.
She dropped the belt at New Year, but the TBS title she dropped at New Year. She hasn't been on AEW since.
I mean, I'm talking about she dropped all of her other ones.
Yeah, she's been making her rounds there. As far as anybody else, I think, I mean, I feel like if we're talking past Double or Nothing, Persephone, if you want to, I mean, if she's dual contract, I feel like that'd be a really good showcase for her. But yeah, they still have a huge shortage of credible baby faces on the women's side of things. Before we get into Willow's match, Death Rider's pre-tape backstage, another good promo from Moxley. just kind of big leaguing Nick Wayne for their match on Collision. I think that's why I think, again, Moxley still showed up to wrestle the first show after a pay-per-view. It's just being taped. So the streak continues. Got a preview of the Death Riders long sleeve. He added on this promo. So looking forward to getting that in the mail.
Yeah, I think it was pretty hard.
Yeah. Yeah, status quo for Death Riders. Marina monitoring Ospreay's health tells me we're not out of the woods with this feud quite yet. But at the same time, what does that mean for this Don Callis adjacent thing going on with Hechicero and Mark Davis? I still am not outruling that the Owen final is going to be Moxley Ospreay again.
Yeah, I still have, like I said, I'm going to put a pin. But like I said, you might do that, but I feel like if you do that, you're running it back at Wembley.
Okay.
That's part A of what you get where I'm getting at?
Yeah, where you about to get the Charlie Day with the blood spatter strings out.
Yeah, don't worry. There is no Pepe Silva.
Camille Willow Nightingale, yeah, not much to say. I appreciate them trying to work.
I'm going to be transparent. Said, no offense to them. I was like, I went to go eat during this match. I said, I'm going to go eat real quick. Because I knew this, I needed to lock in for the main. So I needed to eat.
You know, look, I'm not trying to be like disparaging towards like wrestlers of certain builds or certain styles, right? But I feel like they brought in Camille, and then they brought in Megan Bain, and they brought in Lana Cross, and they just kind of do what she's pitched as way better.
Yeah.
Kind of like how they brought in the Rascals at the same time that they did Mathers and Price, where it's like you kind of have a lot of people doing the same thing at varying degrees. So like, what are we doing here? And this whole thing with the injury angle and then Willow winning anyways, like, why didn't they just do this at the pay-per-view? I mean, I didn't need this match on the pay-per-view, but like, it just seems weird to delay it.
Yeah, I didn't care. Like I said, I'm not, like you said, they're just trying stuff now. It feels like this match did not click. When I came back for towards the end, I think is when I came back. But I just honestly didn't care. I don't know. I think I want them to fix the women's division, and it's just I get disappointed every time.
I'm holding out on the backstage segment after this though, because I don't think we need another dysfunctional tag team by any means, but I don't hate the idea of Sheeta and Stat versus Divine Dominion.
Yeah.
That might be cool.
I just want them to do something, you know. Sheeta looked crazy. I did not recognize her at first, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like she's always changing her look up when she's back on TV. But it's nice to see her back on TV. I feel like she's been away for a long time.
They said it was like a year almost when she came back, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Right. I just can't wait for Riho to come back. She's like next, right? That's usually how the pattern goes.
I'd take Riho Tekla.
Riho will bump her ass off for Tekla.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, yeah. So we're here. Main event. We got some brief interviews, but if you needed anything to silence your doubt, they flew out Sting.
Yeah. Once I saw him, I said, "Yeah." Well, I could have. I mean, if him crying in the beginning wasn't a dead giveaway.
Mm-hmm. I still did not expect how this happened, though. But how the match happened, I thought was perfect. I feel like you only get a couple of these, right? And I think this was the perfect time to do it. I think MJF is the perfect type of heel for this, and you simply do not get enough of this type of shit in 2026 wrestling, of just the bad guy getting owned, done and dusted, babyface has a triumphal moment. Everything everyone tries to shoot for epic. But sometimes you just need a feel-good, get his ass moment. And so when you have Darby just kick him in the nuts, hit a coffin drop off each post, and then in the perfect way that it was always needed to happen, he wins with the headlock takeover. Chris, What the fuck? Darby Allin is your world champion.
I'm happy for my dog, but I want to be. Damn, do they not just trust him to be a longer reigning champion?
I don't think he has to be.
I guess
I really don't think he has to be.
I guess the chase could be better than the after. I guess kind of like similar to when Cody Rhodes won. The chase was better than the outcome.
Yeah, I think that the timing was right because Darby's been back full time. You know, we had the brief scare during the Continental Classic, but it's like he comes back from that and just goes on this incredible run out on the standard that he's already set. And when we talk about the bumping though, but there's more to his game. Like I truly believe Darby Allin is a world-class professional wrestler. What he does with the title, I would almost think it's like a free space. I'm not outruling that he doesn't lose it next week. I'm not outruling that he loses it at the pay-per-view. I'm not outruling that maybe he holds it for a couple of months. I think what AEW and pro wrestling in general, like I don't think we need the year-long title reigns all the time. So I think that this is a free hit completely. You could do whatever housekeeping on the booking side of things. I mean, obviously this doesn't apply to the problems like in the tag scene or the women's scene or the women's tag scene for that matter. But there's all kind of shit you could do with this. You have a lot of ideas. Lay them on me.
All right, so like there's two possible scenarios that I'm thinking of. So you got Darby 1, you can run. I don't know how you get there, so this is where it gets weird. You can run your Ciampa and Darby match on TV, kind of give him his good solid defense. Boom, Double or Nothing comes. You run Kenny Darbs somehow, don't know why, and then you have Ospreay win. Wembley would be Omega Ospreay, right? If I did the math right. But now, the other scenario, you would just do, who would you do? I don't know how you would, because like you said, they never ran the Omega Darby match, so you could do that Double or Nothing already right there. But then you could do your Owen final of Kenny and Ospreay, but then do you run it back at Wembley, Ospreay and Omega? And then that'd be the passing of it. But I would just want to do one passing of the torch moment with those guys. I don't want to do two. So
no, I think it's just I think Wembley is that's their last big singles match.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that you're doing Omega Darby or now you could run MJF back in his hometown. Well, it's not his hometown, but it's New York. And
close.
Yeah, you run it back and he gets his title back there. But then what do you do? Wembley. Yeah. So there's a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, I'm not outrulling that MJF just doesn't win it back. I could totally see that. In the short term, Andrade changed his name on Twitter as better than MJF. And I think on the next TV, I think MJF's going to blame Andrade for losing that match.
Absolutely. We're going to get that.
And then getting blindsided with the booking. So I think what's next is MJF Andrade. So, and I think that's a pay-per-view match. I don't think they're going to run that on TV.
Well, never say never. Or never.
No, I mean, they ran Andrade Omega on TV this year. They ran Swerve Kenny twice on TV this year. Yeah. So, I'm not outruling it. But I think that's the plan because the thing with MJF is when he's away from the belt, I think you kind of use him as marquee upper, high on the marquee on a pay-per-view. You know what I mean? Andrade's gotten that treatment this year. Since he's been full-time back with AEW after all the weird contract shit, they've treated him like a big deal. He's had shit to do. And that's very encouraging. So I think that I would think Double or Nothing's Andrade MJF. Then that frees up Darby Allin, and then you go, okay, well, what do you do now? So I want to figure out, I don't think you're going to do Ciampa Darby. If you do Ciampa Darby at Double or Nothing, the world title, I don't think world title's headlining. I think, I don't know if that'd be Anarchy in the Arena or something else, Stadium Stampede, because it's in a tennis stadium. There's more questions than answers, but it's exciting. Because like I said at the top of the show, I'm like, well, I thought we were just waiting on Ospreay to win the Owen and beat MJF at Wembley. You can still do that, but we're not sitting here passing time. We're not having filler defenses or it's okay, MJF's going to win again. You know what I mean? It really spaces things out in a refreshing way. So like I said, you can just have him win it. You can just have it lose it at the next pay-per-view. You could have him carry it. Also, they've kind of broke the expectation the last couple years that the AEW title doesn't have to be defended against a New Japan guy at Forbidden Door. So if you did want to switch the belt before Wembley, you'd do it at Forbidden Door.
Let me say that again. Why?
June. Who's also to say, because they've had a history in the past, I mean, Darby could lose it to Swerve.
That too, because they haven't been on TV in a while, but...
Yeah, like, that's the thing. Like, I think when we were talking about the main event scene being crowded, I don't think that's changed. Because I know everybody was kind of gunning for the top heel. The thing with when you're gunning for Darby is Darby losing doesn't feel out of the question. He's one of those wrestlers where it's like, we're used to him getting killed and losing big matches, but it never hurts him in that regard. So now that makes things very exciting because I feel like there's going to be a lot of twists and turns of where you think, oh yeah, this is where he's going to drop it, and he's not. So I'm really excited for this summer, whatever that means. If it's just a month, if it's 2-3 months, maybe he walks into Wembley, who knows? That's the thing. I legitimately have no idea what's going to happen, but I'm very excited by that prospect.
It just got really interesting, so.
Yeah, like I wouldn't, if you told me, if you did some time traveling with Kushida and you told me that, yeah, it was Ospreay beats MJF at Wembley, I'd be like, yeah, I'd believe you. But when you look at the landscape right now, how the hell did you get there? That's the fun part, though. That's the fun for us, and we get to talk about it week by week as it happens. But that was the very eventful 72 hours in All Elite Wrestling. I knew we were going to go long this week anyway, so I'm not bothered by it. But there is a small matter of WrestleMania this week. Do you want to play the game first, or do you want to talk about everything else going on?
Probably run through the game first, and then close out with our...
what we're looking for?
What we're excited for the weekend ahead, because there's a lot of stuff that...
By the way, I did watch the go-home segment for Punk Roman. They had my dog apologize.
Yeah.
This is pro wrestling, son.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Why are we apologizing?
Yeah, it's crazy.
This is pro wrestling where, you resolve issues by fighting somebody. I fear the humiliation ritual continues. Okay. I got night one pulled up. You ready?
Oh, yeah, that's rock and roll.
Logan Paul, Austin Theory, and I Show Speed against the Usos and LA Knight. I'm stoked that I Show Speed is wrestling, but why is he in this match? Then Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre in an unsanctioned match. That might be cool. I think there's something there.
Man, last year Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre were on two totally different trajectories. Like, he just won a title, right? Mm-hmm. Jacob Fatu, I think Drew McIntyre was a champion, wasn't he? He had the street fight against Priest. That's right. I guess he feels like he's in the same spot. Yeah, he's still at the shithole trajectory that he's been in. But they gave him a thank you run, but it feels more like it hurt him than anything. I think them two having a brawl could be cool. I mean, I love both dudes, so man. Yeah. Stephanie versus Liv, I don't know how that's going to go. I feel like Stephanie has been boxed in a lot of her WWE stuff compared to when she signed. And I know a lot of people say Liv Morgan's improved. Look, I just can't attest to that because I have not watched her matches in a long time. So that's one I'll have to see for myself. Yeah. I don't know what to expect in any of this. Yeah. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch. I didn't watch Elimination Chamber, so I don't know how their first match went. I heard not great. I think though, I still think very highly of Becky, and I think AJ, being more familiar with her, maybe they can get a better one here. Sure. Then Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match for the Women's Tag Team belts. Nia Jax and Lash Legend are the champions, defending against Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Lyra, and the Bella Twins. That's get everybody on the card. No Kabuki Warriors, huh? I think they're on night. Well, I know Asuka's on night 2, I think. Okay, cool. I think. Don't get me wrong. All right. Well, we'll see. I know she's been feuding with, or not feuding, but her and Io Sky have been feuding again, I think. They have great chemistry, so I hope that they would get a big match. Seth Rollins, Gunther. This is supposed to be Gunther Ray, and yep. Ray wasn't cleared, but. Bullshit, he ain't. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. But big litmus test. See what Gunther can do. I have a theory, but it's not a real theory. I just be under the influence and be thinking of shit. You just be saying shit. What are you saying, bro? So like Gunther's doing this as a favor to Heyman, right? And Gunther likes to retire people. Well, SummerSlam's in Minnesota. You gonna give me Gunther and Lesnar, and Gunther gonna choke Lesnar up? Huh? Can I get that? Can I get that? It ain't gonna happen. But armchair quarterback sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, I have a different pitch for you. We'll talk about night 2 because I do know what they're doing with him on night 2. But I have a pitch for you, so stick a pin in that. Yeah, this is just an interesting one. I want to see what they're capable of. I actually thought that their promo was pretty good. I watched their go home promo too, and it was very much pro wrestling. Like Gunther's like, yeah, like I'm better than you. I'm gonna embarrass you. I'm gonna expose you because you're just a dancing clown, and I'm a real ass wrestler. Which I'm like, yeah, I agree. Let's see what happens.
Night 1 just looks like the most.
This does not look like Mania, dude. This looks like a extreme rules card.
Night 2 looks pretty decent. Night 2 looks like something I'll watch.
I did not see the stipulation added to the main event, which is if Orton loses, Pat McAfee will leave professional wrestling for good. I think it tells me Orton's going to beat Cody because Pat McAfee's building a feud with CM Punk, which, God help me, why?
Jelly Roll gonna turn on Cody Rhodes.
Jelly Roll heel turn, bro. What happened with this, dude? Like, there's a lot of history in this match between Randy Orton was Dusty's last opponent. Randy Orton's Cody Rhodes' first opponent. Seems like that ever since Cody came back, people have wanted this feud.
They were in Legacy together.
Yeah, Legacy. I had the shirt way back when in middle school.
There was a guy that there was 2 other members. One that they don't talk about anymore. One got exiled for some reason.
Hey, Ted Jr. beat his case.
Oh, what happened to Manu?
Yeah, I don't know what happened to Manu. But Ted Jr. beat his case very recently, actually. But yeah, I think Orton's winning because Pat McAfee's been feuding with CM Punk like through promos and social media and stuff. Which again, what are we doing? Pat McAfee should be the host, not involved in the world title program. And who was ever to say with pro wrestlers? But Cody does not seem happy about any of this. And like, that's supposedly your ace. This just seems rotten from top to bottom.
Something.
Night 2, though, yeah, I say if you want to deal with the whole elephant in the room, I think you just have Obafemi beat Brock Lesnar in like 8 seconds. And then Lesnar goes away. That ain't happening. No.
Especially with SummerSlam being in Minneapolis.
Yeah, it's probably not. So, now mechanically, probably will be sick, but again, I think we could both say it'd be pretty hard to see past, the whole crimes against humanity.
Yeah.
So we could just, less said about that, the better we can move on.
Like, it sucks because, like, I can't even, like, look at it with a rose-tinted goggles, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I love Obafemi. I'm a big Obafemi fan now, so.
He should win.
He better do the strut. That's all I want to see.
It's going to be the longest strut of his life down that big ramp. It's going to be sick.
Right, Undertaker right here. God damn. Sorry. I know we're going long, but
no, it's fine. It's fine. We're doing.
In 2017, when we went to Mania in Florida, that was the longest ramp ever, and the Undertaker was there. And the whole night, I was just like, "Yo, his entrance is about to be so fucking long on this ramp."
Didn't they like
he came out like
halfway? Yeah.
I said, "Thank you, Jesus."
Yeah.
Oh, I did not want to be here for that 3-hour entrance.
Yeah. Oh, that was the set with like the roller coaster and all that. That looked really cool.
That set ruled.
Yeah.
My first and only Mania, man.
Last year's set was fantastic. So I'm curious to see what they do. Like the hotel front, all that. I thought it looked awesome.
Oh yeah, that did look awesome. And they're at Allegiant Stadium, right?
Yep, same building. So we'll see what they come up with this time.
Wait till next year's WrestleMania.
We'll have to see the status of,
Yeah.
War.
Yeah.
Man, these choices, you know what? Yeah, lie in the bed you make. The choices age like milk. And we'll leave it at that. The ladder match looks fun. I'll say that.
Javon Evans is my pick.
I'm full on, like, this is, like, proud moment, man. Like,
he's wearing that belt.
Javon Evans at WrestleMania. So awesome. So awesome.
He's wearing that belt. Mark forward. Because that's one of those... I will say they are pushing him. That's one thing I do see is they like this kid.
Yeah, that's so awesome that he's in this spot, man. And he's gonna do some wacky shit.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. Rhea Jade, ooh, it might kick ass. I don't know.
I'm worried, but
I feel
yeah.
like that's a coin
You know
flip. Like
what?
either
Let's
they're
go
just
into it.
gonna,
Let's go into it with optimism. You know.
yeah, that's a coin flip. Because I feel like either that could break down horribly, or they're just gonna absolutely lay in, and it's gonna be a slugfest. Oh, that's a big job for Rhea, man.
Uh-huh.
And a big spot for Jade, to her credit. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, I don't really know. I'm at like free Sami Zayn status with how their fan base treats him. They hate him for
Okay.
just being Sami Zayn. When I'm like, that's literally one of the greatest baby faces of our generation. Like, and you boo him because of Karrion Kross.
Yeah, it's
Like,
crazy.
like I get that Kross has his fans and whatnot, and he's actually running his own shows this weekend. One of them featuring Shayna Baszler versus Janai Kai, which sounds badass. But like, it's Sami Zayn. I can't believe like I feel like the worst grifter podcast brain has set in with WWE regulars towards Sami Zayn. I'm like, dude, like get out of there while you can. You're never gonna win a world title at this point. Just go. Like go where you'll be appreciated. I can't believe like it's one thing if it's like WWE's not your speed and you have so many reasons not to watch. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's like it's not even one of those like this company versus that company. But it's just like Sami Zayn still got something in the tank, and you just outright don't appreciate him. It's insanity to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So I hope him and Trick have a good match. Just it doesn't feel right how he's perceived. Finn versus Dom. I guess that's the Judgment Day blow off.
Yeah, and he's a demon again.
Demon Finn Balor versus Dom. I mean, they're giving Finn more this year, especially with the Punk matches and all that. Maybe he'll win. I'm assuming he's the babyface. Okay.
So they turned on him, and then he cut a promo saying he woken up the demon in me, blah, 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 blah. Here we are.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll be fine. I like Dom. I mean, the only Finn match I watched this year was the first Punk match, which I actually really liked. So hoping, yeah, hope it's cool. And the main event of the weekend for WWE, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns. Yeah, the build completely went off the rails. Is incredibly disappointing in my opinion, but this is a big match for both guys when you really think about it. This is really Punk's first main event. Like night 2 singles match against the guy. Roman has been in the weird place since losing the belt, which was 2 years ago. I mean, and I know like, if you want to talk politics in both world and wrestling, Punk was getting political in his media tour, which I feel like he's doing the job. Yeah. I am
Nice.
cautiously optimistic about the match though. I don't think it'll be terrible.
I mean, they're trying their best to get me interested.
Yeah, I think this is one of those where it's like the creative is so bad, but like on their day, I know these two can work well. And like they're not strangers. They've wrestled plenty of times like in the past, so see how it works in the main event formula. I just hope that Punk lives up to what he was saying at the Garden. We don't do cinema, we do pro wrestling, because I don't want to see no cutscenes with CM Punk in this match.
Me.
Yeah, but I'm very curious to see how this match goes. But yeah, I think Punk's losing. I think it's time for Punk to turn heel in this comeback run. He never really got to do it anywhere, and if you considered him a heel in AEW, that was not a creative choice. It was kind of a natural thing that happened. So I would like to see him have a dedicated heel run, and I think this is where you start it. But I will be watching Mania. Xfinity got added to the list of companies that get the show for free, so I get the show for free. And my brother and I are going to sit down and watch this. So I'll give my thoughts when we come back next week. But I'm more looking forward to everything happening around the big shows, as a wrestling fan would. We've got to go through everything, or else we'll be here for another hour. But what do you got your sights set on for Mania weekend, Chris?
Sam versus the Invisible Man. So one of the that's I absolutely enjoy. Spring Break is one of the ones I always lock into every year.
I'm gonna have to pound a beer during that entrance, bro. I'm gonna be sentimental. I've been watching a ton of Sandman over the last year or so, so like this is gonna hit. I mean, obviously I loved them as a kid too. So like This is gonna hit home for me, man. We got
And,
Sabu's last match last year, the Sandman's last match this year.
and,
Old,
all,
old
and,
masters, man.
and all honestly, like, this card for spring break is going to be fucking awesome. Like, you got Return of Jungle or the Jurassic Express, Marco Stunt, Jack Perry coming back, pretty awesome. You have a ladder match that's going to be, or it's a TLC match actually, or doors, ladders, and chairs match. It's going to be fucking insane. You have a loser leaves GCW match between Effie and Ali. So it's gonna be good. Hayabusa's on there against Atticus Kogar. Brody Lee Jr.'s wrestling. So it's gonna be good. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, is that first match?
That's his first match ever, I think.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dragon Gate's on now, so I'll probably catch that in the morning. I hate Wednesday shows on Mania Week. Like, it's like, just start tomorrow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, start on Thursday.
Yeah, Adam Priest wrestling tomorrow at 1 p.m. against Dustin Nguyen. So, I mean, that'd be a chance to catch a new wrestler. That's on the new Texas show, which Brian Keith's headlining. 5 p.m. tomorrow, St. Louis Anarchy is running on IWTV. Unsigned and Don't Care wrestling Cowboy Way, which Cowboy Way, One Call Manders and Thomas Shire, awesome tag team. Mad Dog Connolly versus Vinny Massaro is on that as well. Overlapping, though, I'm going to be watching the whole CMLL show tomorrow. They changed it last minute. Main event was supposed to be a singles match between Mystico and Hechicero that got turned into a tag match. But they added Templario and Angel de Oro, which I'm sure Angel de Oro is just going to get pinned. But Templario rules. He's an awesome, just fireworks guy. I think you'd like him a lot. Also on that show, Claudio Castagnoli versus Atlantis Jr. Mascara Dorada and Neon versus Captain Suicida and Flip Gordon. That should be a ton of fun. And the Unction.
Gordon still wrestles?
Dude, he's full-time in CMLL.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, like, I don't think he's really that problematic. He just was a flat earther. So, which, for a guy that does all that shit in the air, that's kind of wild to me.
So, like, if I get Triller TV, do I have to order all these separately? Or is there, like, a...
You get the collective with Triller Plus, but CMLL, MLP, and the March Hitchcock Memorial Show are in, like, a $60 package. But I'm just going to get the Triller Plus, I think, and catch up with these shows.
I'm gonna get the Internet Plus, so it's okay.
Yes. But Blue Panther Ultimo Guerrero are having a singles match. They're like a combined age of 110, but their matches always rule.
Hell yeah.
I can't wait for that. Oh, also when they switched the Mystico match, they added a Tessa match, but the less said about that, the better. Mark Hitchcock Memorial Show on at the same time. That's 3 shows going on at once.
That's the one I'm in. I want to see this Masato Tanaka Mark Davis match. Okay?
That is gonna fucking rule. Bandito versus Galeno Del Mal will be cool because Galeno is a much larger luchador. He's the brother of El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. So he's another son of Dr. Wagner Jr. The Demand versus Jet Speed and Michael Oku is on that show. And then if you can catch Mala Fama on any show, they are lucha indie guys, but they're like some of the best spot tag workers right now. They're in a 4-way team against Starmen, Love and Peace from Dragon Gate, and then CPF, who I'm unfamiliar with, but that should just be like a wild fucking just like Beyblade type of match.
I'm trying to also lock into this Hog show.
Is Hog running anything?
They're running a Culture Clash the 16th. Doesn't say what time though. But yeah, they're running Amazing Red versus Bandito, Brody King versus Zilla Fatu.
Is this in Vegas?
Yeah.
I completely missed this on the primer, my bad.
And then Ricky Sosa is going to be on there too, so.
He's confirmed for the clusterfuck. Him and Nate Webb are both in the clusterfuck, dude. Like,
longest entrances ever.
Entrances are going to be insane.
On a side note, TNA is coming to Chicago in August, and yeah, your boy is definitely trying to do that to see Ricky Sosa.
Yeah, I saw that announced. As far as this weekend, I'm only talking about stuff airing live because like West Coast Pro and Marvelous, which both have Danny Luna matches on there. I'll just talk about those on the pod when they air. Late tomorrow night is the El Desperado Deathmatch Invitational.
See, my dog Nick Gage is on that. Let's go.
There's all kind of crazy shit, but that main event should be ridiculous. Zack Sabre Jr. is wrestling a mystery opponent, and I kind of think it's just Minoru Suzuki because he isn't showing up anywhere else. But when we get into Friday, okay, here, really, really late tomorrow night is that Slade versus Dr. Redacted barbed wire match.
I want to also on that show, I want to see that tag match, Bear Bronson, Mr. Danger with Hayabusa and Tanaka. So
that should be cool too, but I'm not watching that at 2 a.m. Sorry.
I will watch that at 2 p.m.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm definitely tapping Friday morning. Action Wrestling, 1 p.m. Darian Bankston versus Timothy Thatcher. Carl Malenko versus Mad Dog Connolly. One Call Manager versus Paul Walter Hauser. There's a Tim Bosby match, which I need to watch more Tim Bosby. But, okay. This match that keeps getting more and more insane. I'll explain this from the jump. Originally, the match was Adam Priest versus Fantasy Ryan Clancy. Ryan Clancy unfortunately blew his knee out, so they needed a replacement. So they made the match Priest and Fuminori Abe against Jonathan Gresham and Eric Stevens. And I'm like, oh, let's go. I really like all these guys. For whatever reason, they said, fuck it, we're going to throw Zack Sabre Jr. and Minoru Suzuki on top of that.
So we got their space. We can do it.
We're about to get Zack Sabre Jr. Adam Priest minutes.
Yeah.
Dude, this might be show of the weekend. Like, I think it has potential to be show of the weekend. Carl Malenko versus Mad Dog Connolly, that's going to be, like, crimes will be committed during that.
Yeah, this is going to be great.
I really wish we got Mad Dog on one of these deathmatch shows. But, c'est la vie. I'll just keep running through a couple more because it's approaching midnight here in our own time. But World on Lucha, 1 p.m. Friday as well. Team Dragon Gate versus Team Gringo Loco should be awesome. Okay, this is a match that I need you to watch. Mexa's Boys versus Malaflama and Rey Horus. I think that they're trying to capture the Mania weekend spot fest in that match alone.
This is the Gringo
World
Loco.
on Lucha.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. That is going to be fucked. Mexa's Boys and Malaflama work a lot of IWRG in Mexico, and again, like, it's like they're all just going to be shot out of the cannon the whole time. And then you get Rey Horus in there as well. So Bloodsport's at 5 p.m. I'm just going to watch the whole thing. It is the same time as Stardom, which is unfortunate, but it's Bloodsport. You know what I mean?
I definitely want to watch Bloodsport.
Then Joey Janela Spring Break following that. And then the MLP show that night has El Sky Team and Amazing Red versus the Rascals. It's got QT Marshall versus Paul Walter Hauser in a street fight rematch for Ring of Honor.
Ooh, got Sting's son on here.
El Hijo del Sting is on there. And then Hechicero versus Jonathan Gresham, which could be match of the weekend.
The Demand versus Oku, Swan, and Akeem. Okay.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff on that, man. So Clusterfuck's midnight Saturday. There's another that Killer Cross Produce, which is airing the same time as Clusterfuck. Janai Kai versus Shayna Baszler. I think that'll be really cool. And then there's a Spark Joshi show Sunday afternoon when there's not much going on. So if you want to get familiar with some of the Stardom wrestlers, I believe that's included in the Trailer Plus.
Lock in. Let's see what's up. Let's see.
Yeah, so a bit of a lighter load compared to previous years, but I'm honestly not complaining. It just sucks that like some of the more, like they're running Danny Luna versus Mio Momino on West Coast Pro, and that's not gonna air live. And they're also running Danny Luna versus Senka Akatsuki, who's like the super rookie in the Joshi scene right now. And again, you gotta wait to see those. But when those do air, I'm sure I'll have a lot to say about them on this show. But that is our whole AEW Big Style review and Mania weekend primer. Whole lot going on right now, but I'm excited. I don't know about you.
I'm stoked, man. It's my favorite week.
Yeah, well,
it's like also there's a progress show running. I'm just been clicking on Cage Match to see like what the cards were, just to see. And I think they got Man Like DeReese versus Michael Oku on a progress show. But for some reason, it says Man Like DeReese with Brody Lee Jr. I don't know why it says that.
Do you think he's going to get on the mic?
Oh, please, dude. Please do it.
When I say, oh, one, you say.
Oh, God, I can't wait for this. This is awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll be in touch. I think I might be, like I said, I might not be around all day Friday, but like Friday night to Sunday, I'm sitting my ass down and watching pro wrestling.
Saturday after work, I'm gonna go see a friend's band play. But other than that, I ain't locking in.
Hell yeah. I'll be in touch with you over the weekend, and I'm sure we'll figure out how we're gonna structure the show next week. If you got this far, this is our longest episode in a while, but like I said, we had a lot to talk about, and it's making up for the gap. We didn't do a show last week, but hope you enjoy WrestleMania weekend in whatever capacity that is. And if you got this far into the show, thank you very much. We will talk to you again next week.
See ya.